I'm in like the dojo.
Fantastic. Here. All right, start over. Here we go. I'm ready to go. No more fucking around.
You just said a cuss word on live television. Hey y'all, it's Eli with Alchemy Custom Weaponry. I'm here with my boss, Nick. No longer the dick. We get your cardiovascular problem, your heart's grown, we're great. So we're here to talk about hard chrome, but
it is the hard truth about hard chrome.
It's the hard truth about hard chrome.
And like so many things in life, there's trade-offs for things, okay? Like if I want to lift my van, now my van looks even more creepy. It's a white van. When I'm rolling down through school zones, they look at me even more. That's a trade-off. It looks cool to me. However, the police follow me quite a bit more. So everything's trade-offs.
And to that point, when I lower my Galaxy, I also have the police following me, but for different reasons.
Exactly. So
I mean, like a drug dealer.
Yeah, you look like a drug dealer, and then they pull you out of the car, and they're so confused.
They're very confused. But just like Nick was saying, there is trade-offs, and hard chrome is no different. It is a gangster finish, however.
Well, it is a gangster finish, and I want to like put a period and then a colon, even though that's not proper grammar. It is a gangster finish because it's old school. So you're talking about your Galaxy, and you talk about chrome bumpers and all this. It is an old school finish, and it's an old school electroplating where you're actually doing, you're submerging it into a liquid that has all kinds of things in it. It's not really that scientific the way I'm explaining it. And then running a current through the metal in order to get the chromium to adhere to the gun. And it creates a very beautiful finish. And the tone on hard chrome, like this gun right here, this is your personal...
This is my carry gun.
Prime Elite carry. And when you have a matte hard chrome finish and you look at it, there's nothing like it. It really has a very nice gray and sometimes blue tint to it, depending on the angles that you're holding it up to the light.
Right.
So when you see a hard chrome gun, you know that you're looking at something special because of the light and the color that it reflects. Now, there are some things, being that it's an old school finish, an old school immersive electroplating finish that you have to be aware of.
Well, and that's interesting. I want to take you back a little bit. We at ACW, we like it. 1911 history, so we take it back. So when shooting got big, and people don't realize that, when Americans started getting really into guns, kind of post-Civil War, recreational shooting really wasn't a major thing. It grew and grew and grew, and then by post-World War II, you really started to see a lot of recreational shooting, and a lot of civilians then really wearing guns for defense. All that to say, at the time post-World War II, the two finishes you really had options for on a 1911, which, I mean, what other gun are you going to carry?
Exactly.
I mean, you're going to carry a Walther PPK?
Oh, gosh, no. That's a little pop gun.
Oh, yeah. The Walther PPK has done one good thing its entire history, and that's kill Adolf Hitler. So you're not going to carry a PPK. You're going to carry 1911 like a man. And the two options there is nickel, which is cool, but not super tough, and bluing, which is cool, but even less tough.
And I mean, we could do a tangent into park, but we won't even
So, when you start to get into people really using their guns hard, they're tearing the guns up. The guns are getting worn really fast. There's not much corrosion resistance. And this is predating stainless, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. This is predating stainless, which there were some 1911 companies that brought stainless out in the 70s, but let's be honest, at that time, if it wasn't a Colt, you didn't have, why'd you buy it? And so Colt wouldn't bring out a stainless gun until I believe the mid-80s. So that's a long period of time to not have stainless on the menu.
Correct.
So chrome was not a finish. People, look at it, and I talk about it being it is gangster. But people, look at chrome and they think, oh, this is an aesthetic finish. Which
no,
it's not.
It is.
It is, but it's not really. It was designed with one purpose. It was designed to be corrosion resistant and protective to the firearm when you were doing shooting sports, when you were carrying the gun, and that sort of thing, in a time where you didn't really have like the coatings we have today that are corrosion resistant. So
correct.
That's a little backstory on hard chrome, and that's why like all of your badass custom guns back in the day were either two-tone or full chrome, and that's kind of where we got it from because we're an old school company. So chrome makes sense for us to offer.
Yes, so I'm just going to pick up your gun here and point out a couple of things. First off, we already talked about the tint that you're going to see. We'll have some B-roll rolling here on the actual color of the chrome. And it is a hard use duty finish. And I can tell you've been carrying it in Kydex, and the Kydex has mostly laughed at it because the hard chrome is hard. I don't know what it is on the Rockwell scale, but it is harder than the substrate material.
It tears up Kydex.
Underneath it. Yeah. But a couple of things to consider on it is because it's an old school electroplating process, it's going to adhere to the surface of the gun in different ways based on the current density in different areas of the gun. So modern coatings like a Cerakote or PVD coatings are very, very even in the way that they adhere to the pistol. Hard chrome has kind of a mind of its own, and it will adhere to different parts of the gun differently. So on the surface of the gun, on a large flat area, if it's bead blast like this is, or matte, same thing, bead blast equals matte. Get that inside your lexicon there. It's the same thing. But you may see areas where it's a little darker than other areas, and it's just based on the amount of chrome and the way it is adhered to that specific area. It is just a part of the finish and the way it is. The other thing too is on corners. So if you have any type of a corner area, the density, the current density in that tank and in the metal can actually build up a little there, and you'll have more chrome maybe on an edge than you will on a flat. And it's not a defect, it is just part of that hard chrome process. Yeah. So you get a very durable, very beautiful old school finish, but it's just understanding what hard chrome is. And to give you some comparisons between hard chrome and how it is beautiful, but it is an old electroplating process, I have here.
Well, and one quick thing before you're going, shadowing.
Shadowing. Well, shadowing. I talked about shadowing is yes.
Shadowing essentially. I know you didn't use the term, but a lot of our customers have experienced this, and I've kind of had to walk them through. So shadowing is just a darker spot in the chrome, and as you mentioned, it not adhering evenly, just because of how it's plated. You'll have that. You'll know my gun actually has some shadowing on the roll marks, and then also around the mag catch. Yep. And I'll be honest with you. It's just how it is. It's just one of those things. It's a characteristic of hard chrome, you know, good and the bad. You take it, you love it, and I do. And I carry this gun so much, I really don't care.
Yeah, I have a hard chrome high cap that has thousands of rounds, been to many, many courses, and carry it in Kydex, and it's very, very durable, but that's one of the things you have to understand about hard chrome. Also, when the flats are polished, you'll see less of the potential shadowing come up. But understand that the flats are polished before the chrome and after, because the chrome adherence to the polished flats can be a little milky, so it has to be polished out after. So it's not going to be the same sharpness on certain corners as you'll see on other finishes. Like our blued guns, you'll have very sharp corners, whereas on a chrome gun, like if you get up, and I'm talking about getting up like real close to it and really nitpicking it. We just want to make sure that people understand that. In juxtaposition,
that's a big word. What does that mean?
It means next to, but kind of inverse of.
I think that just made it more confusing.
Okay, well, there you go. So in juxtaposition to that, we have a gun here that you have seen before. This is my Prime Elite Compact, and I, in the past, have used the term chrome on this pistol. This is technically chromium nitride. This is a prototype of this finish to show how it would work out. We always test things, and so the best thing to do is to test it on a gun that's not actually, gonna get out there. So this is chromium nitride, which is a PVD finish. There's a lot of companies that offer chromium nitride. So if you see chrome, you're typically gonna see chromium nitride these days. Sometimes it's called silver DLC. Or just chrome, but a lot of times it's chromium nitride, a PVD, which is a more modern finish that adheres more evenly. So what you'll see on this gun when you look at it close up is a much more even finish. However, it is more of a grayish tone. You don't get the beautiful blues that you get from a traditional hard chrome finish.
Absolutely.
This is durable, but it's the grayish tones that you'll see on it. So when you look up close at it, you'll see more of a grayish tone than you'll see the beautiful blues that you get out of a traditional hard chrome gun. Now this is just a prototype. We wanted to see how the finish looks and how it holds up on our pistols and all that. So it's not something that we're offering. We just wanted to test it long term, and this is the long-term test subject of that. Now also in juxtaposition of that is stainless steel. So stainless, and this right here is a Belligerent Nero prototype pistol. This is a matte. From Cabot. Sorry, from Cabot, yes.
From Cabot.
Alchemy is not offering stainless steel pistols.
Nope.
This is another option that you'll see out there traditionally in the market, and this is just a matte stainless steel finish, uncoated, and it is just bead blast or matte, and the coloring on this is going to be somewhat in between a chromium nitride PVD and a true hard chrome, so it's going to have more of the grays, but not quite as gray, and you know, the black undertones of a chromium nitride PVD. So these are just different things that you'll see in the market. So if you're looking at hard chrome, understand more blues than grays, but it's old school, which makes it beautiful, but also you have to like understand some of the parts that go into making hard chrome exactly what it is.
Well, I'm gonna hit you with a comparison.
Okay.
And some people may not like this, but that's what I know.
Okay.
It's kind of like carburetor versus fuel injected.
That is very, very...
Fuel injection's a lot less, you know, there's a little bit more consistency. It's a little bit less work, and a little easier all around. Carburetor, they're badass.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, there are some days that I, crank up my car and it takes me a minute, and I think, maybe I should put a fuel injected system on this, and then I think, no, I'm a man, so I'm gonna keep this carburetor. Same thing with hard chrome.
Yep.
Hard chrome's just one of those things. You got to be about that life.
You got to be about that
life.
If
you really appreciate old school stuff and really what the 1911 has become in a fighting handgun.
Yep.
This is kind of the old school gunfighter finish. That's what you two-tone also, of course.
Yeah, two-tone. You're gonna have the hard chrome on the lower, and then the blued up top.
Of course, that's a great option as well. Fantastic option. I would really like that. But of course, just to talk a little bit more about hard chrome. I live in North Carolina, where it can be up 98 degrees or 98% humidity.
Yeah.
In a car with no air conditioning. That's not great. But when I sweat all over this gun, I just get home. I literally just take my shirt, wipe it off, and she's fine.
Yep.
So especially if you're in high humidity, like my parents got a place in the Keys. When this is the gun, I definitely don't take a blued gun down there.
You take a hard chrome gun.
So you take a hard chrome down there. So if you're in a high humidity area, or if you're a guy who's really going to be thrashing on the pistol,
hard chrome's going to be
hard chrome's going to be the way to go. And it's just damn good looking too.
It is. Yeah.
So hard chrome, it's for hard people.
Hard chrome is for hard people.
Yeah.
Get hard.
Get hard.
Chrome.
So with that, I hope you learned some things. I hope we cleared up some things. And, thank you for joining us. Remember, carry cocked and locked, and have a great rest of your day.